Hey everyone, today we're jumping into a huge topic. What are the cities of the future actually going to be like? Are we building this incredible, convenient paradise? Or are we, maybe without realizing it, building a beautiful, high-tech cage? It all starts with a problem I think we all know way too well.
Just imagine for a second a world with no more traffic jams. No more of that grinding, hour-long drive to work and back every single day. It's a really powerful idea, right? And it is the absolute central promise behind a whole new, kind of radical vision for how we're supposed to live. I mean, really think about that. Your job, the kids' school, the grocery store, a park, even your doctor. All of it, just a quick walk from your own front door. And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi fantasy. This is the actual blueprint that's being designed as we speak.
So right now, there are two major models popping up to try and make this dream happen. And they look totally different from the outside, but they both share one massive, ambitious goal: to finally, once and for all, kill our dependency on the car.
Okay, so let's break these two down. On one side, you've got the Line in Saudi Arabia, a gigantic, brand new city built completely from scratch. And on the other, you have the 15-minute city idea, which is all about retrofitting cities that already exist, like Paris, into these super walkable, self-contained neighborhoods.
The Line calls its big idea zero-gravity urbanism. So instead of sprawling outwards, the city just stacks up. You got parks literally layered on top of offices, which sit on top of apartments. The whole point is you can move up and down, not just side to side, to get to pretty much everything you could ever need.
The 15-minute city, which is really taking off in places like Paris, isn't so much about building something new. It's more about reorganizing what's already there. It's about bringing the important stuff to the people, making sure every single neighborhood has what it needs to function on its own.
But of course, there's always a catch, right? These utopian plans are starting to slam right into the messy, complicated realities of money, politics, and, yeah, even human rights. Turns out the dream of a perfect city has a very real price tag.
So this was the original promise for The Line, a 170-kilometer-long mirrored skyscraper just cutting right through the desert. I mean, an absolutely monumental feat of engineering.
And well, this is the reality. Thanks to just staggering costs and some huge technical hurdles, the whole project has been scaled way, way back. As of early 2026, that first phase is now only planned to be about 2.4 kilometers long.
But the cost here isn't just financial. Reports from the region have highlighted a really serious human rights issue, where indigenous tribes were forcibly removed from their ancestral lands to clear a path for the project, with incredibly severe consequences for anyone who resisted.
Now, in Europe, the controversy is totally different. The backlash against the 15-minute city isn't about displacement, it's about control. You have this growing fear among some groups that these convenient little neighborhoods are actually a Trojan horse for climate lockdowns.
And the tech that's fueling this fear? It's something called digital geofencing. In some pilot programs, like in Oxford, AI-powered cameras are tracking cars as they move between different zones. And if you cross that boundary too many times in a year, you get an automatic fine. All of a sudden, your freedom of movement has a literal price tag. And that right there, that's the thing that connects both of these completely different city plans. Both of them depend on a powerful, all-seeing AI to manage everything, like an invisible mayor running in the background.
Now, the words here are super important. We've all heard the term smart cities, right? Cities that use sensors to collect data. But the Line is being marketed as a cognitive city. And the difference between those two, well, it comes down to an absolutely mind-boggling amount of data.
Just look at this. A typical smart city today uses about 1% of the data it collects. The AI system being designed for the Line, it's called NEOS, is being built to process and act on 90% of all the data from its residents. 90. That is a quantum leap in surveillance and analysis.
And look, this isn't science fiction. This is already happening. In Hangzhou, China, an AI from Alibaba called CityBrain already controls the entire traffic grid. And yeah, it's cut ambulance response times in half, which is amazing, but it does it by tracking the real-time location of every single vehicle in the city. And this data collection goes way beyond traffic. In some places, AI is being tested for what's called predictive policing. It analyzes the unique way you walk, your gait, and how long you stand still in one place, your dwell time, to try and predict if you're about to commit a crime or maybe start a protest.
So this all sounds pretty dystopian, right? Something being forced on you.
But what if it wasn't? What if you actually opted in? What if your personal data basically became a new kind of money? Well, some of these city models are proposing exactly that, a kind of privacy marketplace. You could, for instance, get a discount on your rent if you agree to let the city's AI monitor your energy use. Or maybe you get cheaper utilities if you let it track what groceries you buy. You're being incentivized to sell your own anonymity, which could create this whole new social divide between people who can afford privacy and people who can't.
And that really brings us to the absolute heart of the issue here. This entire concept of the future city really just hangs on one massive trade-off that every single citizen is going to have to think about.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. On one side, you have the promise of a life that is incredibly efficient, safe, and sustainable. But on the other side, the price seems to be our privacy, our anonymity, and maybe even our basic freedom to move around without being constantly watched.
These cities aren't just drawings anymore. They're actually being built, which means this is no longer some theoretical debate for the future. This is a choice that's coming at us way faster than we think. So the question is, what are we, what are you, willing to trade for a perfect life?